For a time, the Origin System and the Orokin Empire basked in a golden age of exploration and rapid scientific advancement. But that era has long since faded. Now we find ourselves at war with those who were created to help our empire thrive. To survive, we, the Orokin, must test out our new frames of war against the unimaginable. They must come face to face with him. Only the worthy will survive. Welcome back to the channel to know. I am your host, Vault0. I make a daily Warframe content. Today, after a little bit of digging in the Leverarian, I found a very interesting story about Ivara and a primordial creature known as the Myrmidon. A creature so powerful that it was known to have erased Warframes from history. Warframes that we have no idea even existed, who they were, what their powers were. Those that were deemed unworthy. Today we're going to take a deep dive look into the Leverarian and really analyze who the Myrmidon was, his origins, his motives, and how Ivara was the only frame to be able to defeat the Myrmidon. The following information is pulled directly from the Leverarian. Ivara, the Huntress. This tale comes to us from the secret history of the Orokin court by the historian Parvis. Have you perhaps heard tell of the Myrmidon? No matter. This preternatural beast figure, straight out of myth he was. One whose prey had no equal. Warframes were what this villain hunted. It is said that a number of frames have been erased from history by this monster. Models who no longer exist on any record. Those who are not remembered. It hardly seems possible that a single person could stand against a Warframe, let alone destroy it, let alone several. Perhaps Parvis enjoyed telling a little too much, or perhaps there is something to this story. Ivara encountered the Myrmidon quite early in her history, quite early indeed. A Dex emergency call, so Parvis writes, led Ivara and two unknown Warframes to a convoluted cave system. They found it littered with the bodies of murmured Dax and a resplendent bioluminescent algae. I imagine the chitinous folds of her Salax sedana would have made for excellent camouflage with that malevolent supernal glow. The secret history tells us that the Myrmidon appeared boldly before the three, in a wide chamber connected by many tunnels. Clad in red and gold armor, it gestured to the first Warframe. With that, Parvis describes a strange, clutching motion, as if seizing a falling apple. But it was no greeting, as we shall see. The powers of the first Warframe, the recipient of the gesture, promptly failed. The Myrmidon took advantage of the confusion to leap upon the hapless frame and press its palm to the warrior's head. In lurid detail, Parvis describes a flash of the most scintillating emerald light, and Ivara's battle sibling collapsed into a pile of hot dust. Parvis tells us the compiled tale from such overheard exchanges between the members of the Seven, and details that remained constant in courtly whispers. He tells us the second frame suffered the same fate as the first. Reacting, Ivara whirled around, promptly vanished, but one clutching gesture in her direction, and her powers had fled. Her cloaking field nullified, visible, vulnerable. She loosed a dash-wire arrow to the high clove, but it never came. No escape, and the Myrmidon was upon her. The hunter spun, putting fire with her AK Samadhi pistols to send that devil scrambling for cover, arm thrown protectively across that twisted armored head. That clutching gesture was the key. Ivara needed the plan, and she needed it fast. She ran to the wall and up it, hanging there, waiting, as the Myrmidon flipped into the room. blasting the spot where he had expected her to be. Frustrated, he again made the same elaborate gesture, trying his luck. She saw it. The bracelet upon his wrist that glowed softly with the movement of the clutching gesture. Ivara flipped from her perch, shouldering her exquisitely crafted Rubico as she did, and sighted the enemy. Really quick, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you leave a comment. Also, we have channel memberships that are brand new to the channel. We have really cool perks such as members-only polls, members-only videos once a month. With the polls, you really get a good hand in what kind of content we cover next when it comes to Warframe, whether it be lore, whether it be opinion-based, or news, things like that. So you really get to, really get a good feel for what we're going to be doing next. And I really like hearing from you guys' opinions on things like that. Memberships start at $2.99 a month, and like I always say, if you guys are unable to, financially provide for the channel right now, that's completely fine with me. Your viewership is more than enough for me. Through the Orokin scope, Hunter and Huntress meet eye to eye, each loosing a desperate blast, a bullet from Ivara, and a killing light from the Myrmidon. The green light lashed, touching her shoulder plate of Ivara's Evea armor, reducing it to dust. It saved her, and the Huntress won out, her shot claiming the Myrmidon's device in a shower of green sparks. But the Myrmidon's weapon remained lethal, and with it he lashed at Ivara in an emerald fury. Ivara would hit the ground and sprung into several surrounding tunnels. The Myrmidon's shot lacing a gouge in the porous chamber wall. Ivara pressed her back into the shadowed outcrop of the tunnel's end, while the Myrmidon's weapon blazed and cut and chewed through her only remaining cover. As good a time as any to discuss the weapon before you. The Artemis bow, the Huntress' signature weapon, and the tool in which she had brought so much good. Said by some to be spirit bonded to her, others say it was a product of forgotten Orokin technology. What Porvis tells us next displays the good effect of what a warrior and what a weapon are capable of. Pinned behind a rodent cover, seconds from death, Ivara summoned her Artemis bow, and it came to her. She and the weapon is one. Without rising, she pulled it back, aimed high. She and the arrow is one, loosed. Under Ivara's guidance, the arrow turned its path and shot down the corridor towards the Myrmidon, and lengthwise through his weapon. Around Ivara, the walls flashed green for a microsecond, and the Myrmidon's weapon erupted. Then, silence. What is a bow without arrows? And these arrows, the origin system has never seen anything their like. Able to change the very nature at the whim of Ivara. Sleep, cloaking, rapid fire, they are the embodiment of her legendary versatility. She drew her bow again, but this time it was for her fallen comrades. With inhuman speed, she shot after shot, snapped and plucked each segment of the carapace from the Myrmidon's lean frame. Straps severing, clips popping. He was undressed with a swift efficiency by the preternatural accuracy of her aim and rapidity. Even before her final arrow belted the visored helmet of his head, she had the killing blow knocked and ready. There he stood, the Myrmidon, slayer of Warframes, naked, beauty, symmetry, even the capacity for language, sacrificed for raw power. But his face was the mockery of an Orokin face. She was sworn to never kill. The smirk of his pallid, angular visage told her he knew it as well. The grand doors of the Chamber of the Seven flew open. Across that reverberating expanse of polished darkness strode Ivara, dragging her prize. Before the assembled council, she dropped him, and with it, the Myrmidon's battered helmet. Here he would meet justice at the hands of his own people. Here, her fallen friends would be avenged. She beheld the seven, awaiting their judgment. The Myrmidon got to his feet, cleaning dust from one shoulder with a contemptuous flick. One of the seven leaned forward, removing a curious thing from their slender head, a lattice of delicate silver, placing it on the elevated chest-high curve of obsidian that separated her from them. Instantly, the Myrmidon collapsed, lifeless, to the floor. Ivara did not understand. Why? Why? A stinging voice intoned her name. There stood Executor Ballas. He told her, "You have been battle and loyalty tested. Your companions, they were found wanting. They failed to adapt, failed to overcome, and so they are no more. But you, Ivara, you shall live. You shall be remembered." Her battle comrades, as we know, were not. Well, guys, that is the story of Ivara and the Myrmidon. I want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. I know I was pretty shocked when I got through the Leverarian, got through the end, and found out that it was actually just a test set up by the Orokin and the Council of the Seven. I don't know why, but I always find myself shocked by the savagery, the lengths of betrayal, and I'll just say torture that the Orokin would always invoke on the Warframes. I mean, there was nothing kind or compassionate about anything they did when it came to the Warframes. Um, and always just kind of leaves me stunned when I get to the end of these kind of stories. But again, I just want to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the stars.